Oh, Curry just responded, say he's still at work.
Okay. So yeah,
You still at work?
bro, how you at work? But dude, how you give the time and not know that you have work?
What does he do on weekends? I told you he a crime fighter. He
You do say you got a radio listening, a police scanner.
he on a beat.
Yeah, vigilante on his motorcycle looking like
Oh
Batman.
man,
Let me
fighting all
drink
the
some more.
pimps.
Let me drink some more tea.
I need
Oh
to drink some
man.
water. Hold on a second. Let me get some
Sip
water.
my tea. I ain't got nothing to say.
Ride on his motorcycle. I wonder if he got like a sidecar for his sidekick.
Time never stops, baby. He always working.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup here. I got here with the guys. It's me, the king of all kaijus, Chris Zilla. We got Space Chase in the building, and we got Yoke out. Say what's up to the YouTube and Spotify crowd.
What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
Cool. And if this is your first time rocking with us, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything else in between through the lens of black culture. So a little bit of, house cleaning. If this is your first time seeing us on the YouTube side, check us out on the Spotify. Check us out. We're trying to get on Apple Podcasts and all your other favorite podcast platforms. And then if you see us on the audio side, check us out on the YouTube side. We can see some, before the run, outtakes and hot takes, and just some of the jokes that go on behind the scene, man. And,
Legendary.
Again, is this
Iconic.
if you like what you see, man, like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff. Support us and tell a friend to tell a friend. And with that, man, anything else y'all want to add?
Nothing, man. What's up, man? I'm ready to get connected with the people. I was out last week, so I'm ready to be back in this.
Yeah,
man. Welcome back, Rich.
Welcome back, man. Hey, man, you get your COVID shot, man.
Nah,
the man was in the country,
baptized.
man.
I got
okay.
baptized. I get baptized into COVID. I just ran. I went to Florida, so
Yeah.
got baptized.
Hey, I know some people think Florida needs to be distant from the U.S. because of the craziness that's been going on down there. But
Yeah,
they developed that herd immunity, bro, one way or another.
It don't matter how many people die. So, okay. All right, well, good to have you back, man. Glad you out of that cesspool of a state. Let's get to business, man. First things first, man. We talked about the NBA playoffs. We still in it, man. Thick in the playoffs. We got these Nets, man. They just went down, or actually tied up with the Bucks now. It's 2-2. As we were speaking today, we saw Kyrie go down with a big injury with his ankle. We saw Kevin Durant try to carry it by himself because Harden's already out. He came in, first person died in the horror movie. Man. Hamstring. It's like, nah, bro, you ain't ready. So we have 2 of the 3 superstars, the 3-headed monsters, is down to just him and Blake Griffin. And Joe Harris.
Blake Griffin, the monster too?
No. It's down to one-headed monster and a bunch of minions.
It's like if Voltron had 3 heads. Those are the 3 heads, and everybody else is like, the foot.
Yeah.
The hand,
Wow.
like
he a wing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Little finger. So yeah, man. Bro, all these injuries, man, they're adding up, and they're probably going to be an impact in how the rest of the playoffs is going to go for the Nets. So then let me ask you guys, man, real quick. Man, do you guys think that the injuries between Harden and Kyrie, is it going to impact their legacy should the Nets win or lose? Like, depending on how they lose, do you think it's going to negatively impact their legacy going forward? Space, you up first, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, if the Nets right now are dependent on Kyrie's and Harden's hamstring, I mean, the next question is, what about KD's Achilles? Because I mean, I'd be worried now because there's gonna be more load on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be like really cautious and like really concerned that we look like we're in a bad omen right now. the Nets.
Yeah.
Just based on what's happening. But I mean, in terms of Kyrie's and Harden's legacy, I mean, injuries is a part of the game, so you can't blame somebody for getting injured and they weren't available to, I guess, determine how the outcome of their legacies would be. Because I mean, if a guy gets injured, let's say his first season and his career ended, it's unfair to say like I can't come in and say, oh, dude had a terrible career. He didn't even get a chance to prove it. Harden, while he had a chance, or what season is this for Harden?
Probably like his 10th season as well, 11th
His 10th
He's
season?
31 or 32, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, if he got injured now, and let's say his career was cut short, it's fair to criticize his first 11 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But like after, I can't criticize him because he was on the cusp of possibly winning a championship. So if they don't pull it off, I can't say that it was bad. I could criticize that first 11 years, but this Nets run, if his injury prohibits him from playing, I can't say that that hampered his legacy or anything, or prevented it from being what it's supposed to be. Kyrie, on the other hand, I mean, same goes for him, but he has a lot to prove more than James in a sense. James Harden proved that he can take teams to the playoffs, take teams to at least the Western Conference Finals. Mm-hmm. He didn't go the distance, but he showed that he is a number one option. Kyrie had his days in Cleveland, not doing anything before LeBron got there. So it shows that he can't win without LeBron or another star. He went to Boston, went on the team looked like trash. Then he gets injured, he's off the team goes to the Eastern Conference Finals. So what does that say about him as a player? Now he's with Harden and KD, and he's winning again. So it seems to me like Kyrie is the kind of person that's like he's the one being carried by other players. Gotcha. He's not he himself is not a team carrier. He's not an Iverson. Iverson, like he will never be considered. Even if he wins, I don't think anybody will look at Kyrie as a better player than Allen Iverson. Overall package. They might say he has better handles and finish at the rim and all this stuff, but nobody will look at Kyrie and say that, hey,
he could be an MVP candidate or something.
Yeah, like he doesn't, even though LeBron said he could see, I mean, he has the skill set to be an MVP player, but I mean, nobody will think of him as like, oh, he's going to carry a team. So his ankle injury that he suffered today, I mean, it's you can't knock him for it, but based on his track record, he too, his whole season, even though he won a championship, his whole career, even though he won a championship, I mean, I'm not sure how much better his career can be if he doesn't win. If the Nets don't go all the way, his career, I feel like people will scrutinize it also as to him not winning. So the Nets, they have a lot to pray, and like they got to go get that sage that he had. I don't know if maybe Kyrie ain't bring it with him on the trip. Maybe he forgot it on the road trip. I don't know. But they probably need to go get it real quick. Have somebody FedEx that shit or Amazon Prime it one day shipment. But besides that, I don't know. But things ain't looking good for them right now.
Hey, I heard that the foot that he rode was the same foot he stumped the logo at Boston Celtics.
Hey, then that means Lucky got him back.
So,
his luck ran out. Maybe Lucky.
No. He might need to bring the walking stick back too.
Yeah, I mean, but in terms of the Nets, I don't believe that they can beat these other teams like in the West without Harden and and Kyrie.
Somebody's gonna have to get healthy soon.
Yeah, I don't feel like they can beat Clippers for sure. If the Clippers win, they can't beat the Clippers without them. They can't be. I don't think they can even beat the Jazz without them.
I mean, they got the Eastern Conference Finals. Are they going to beat
they probably can't beat
Sixers?
Philly. I don't know. I don't think they can. I will say this: the Sixers can be had even if they're fully healthy, only because I don't necessarily trust Joel Embiid 100%. he's something about him still feels like he plays when he wants to.
He seems locked in this season.
Huh?
He seems more locked in this season.
He does seem locked in. I don't know, but he's iffy. He seems like, because he's very injury prone too, so he can easily go out next game, because these playoff games are so quick. The turnaround to play is so fast every other day. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
So it's all about luck. So whichever team comes down, it's gonna be luck about who's there at the end.
Okay.
There's a lot of luck.
All right, I feel you, man. I hear you, man. Yoked out, man. What you got?
Man, I was hearing you talk about injuries, and I was like, man, where are these sympathies for these other people who be calling this man plain cold AD? Like, he can't control the injuries. He go out there and give his best. He was aggressive. He got the Lakers up early in every game they needed. He get injured, and everybody come out ready to clown him. And speaking of clowning, if the Nets don't win this year, there's a lot of people who didn't like what came together with these three superstars. The jokes are gonna be out, regardless on how it happened, and be like, "Oh, y'all did all that just to get bounced out and not get playoff success."
You're gonna see KD on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, active, very active.
Is it gonna be on his name though?
Blue check marks, non-verified accounts, everything. It's gonna be a flurry. But I mean, it is what it is. I hope they get healthy. I'm really pulling for this team. Like, I know people don't like it, but I just like to see greatness. I like to see I like how they've been playing. I think it's great basketball. In terms of legacy, I think you're very spot on. Kyrie's legacy will take more of a hit, because I think that there's more to prove there. I think Harden could stop today and he's still going to be a legend. I don't think either way injuries can impact your legacy, but who knows what they can put together for next season. In terms of what KD has to do now, I think it's tough. We kind of talked about this pregame, but like the type of player he is, he's like an ISO player. He's not a facilitator. So they're just going to focus on KD now. And it's going to be like a lot of work for the other players. And if he's been shooting the way he's doing and being as inefficient as he is, like, it's not going to be enough to get the job done. So I see it. Even if they scrape past this, like another team, another series, somebody gonna have to get healthy, like quick. Like, they gonna have to give them the shot. They gonna have to do that Mr. Miyagi stuff or whatever. Like, they have to pull something out the bag.
I don't know, because they could try. I mean, but look at what happened to KD. KD was injured in Golden State, and he went out there trying to go, and then it got bad. So I don't know if they want to risk that. I know people want to prove that they're tough and they're there for their team, but sometimes it comes down to stupidity and what's stupid versus, hey, somebody needs to tell you, like, look, just rest up. We're better off having you for next season than you coming out there and we don't have you next year at all.
Yeah. I think the Kyrie ankle sprain looked real bad. I saw him put some weight on it and it looked, pretty painful. He was grimacing, but I don't think it's impossible. I think once, they ice it and everything, if it's not too serious, he might be able to return sooner rather than later. Maybe by next series if they can pull out another 2 games.
But like we were saying before, it looked like a high ankle sprain, and everybody who has this high ankle sprain is out for a while. Look at Christian McCaffrey last year's season. He had a high ankle sprain and he missed the whole season. And LeBron was out for 2 months. So if this is a high, he was holding his ankle like really high when he went down. So if that's a high ankle sprain, I don't see him playing at all.
Yeah. And I was more concerned about the nature in which he sprained his ankle. If you just kind of was running and you stepped on someone's foot and kind of twisted, rolled it, whatever. But the whole
whole body
weight coming down on it. That's again, those are my worst ankle sprains personally. So, I mean, I can still play, but I'm also, that's
not playing as many minutes as much. And at such a high level,
and it's so easy to tweak again. So like, even like if someone touches your toe, be like you'll feel it. So
how did he walk off the court?
He walked out by himself. Well, I know he was in the tunnel by himself. He was walking by himself, but he was walking gingerly.
He stayed off that whole, like, the play he hurt himself. It went all the way, came back, called timeout. He was still on the floor rolling. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, even if he did walk off eventually by himself, it took him a while to get up.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Like those, like I said, I've been there, so I know that things hurt, man. And I've done it both times where I've like you know, came down on it, which is like right on my foot, and then also when I'm jumping like a jump shot and then come down on someone's foot. You know what I'm saying? Both of those were like the worst ones. It just takes forever to come back from. I mean, again, I'm not playing back to backs. I'm not playing every 2-3 nights against like highly intense, highly competitive situations. I mean, I'm pickup ball, so it's like I can take days, I can take breaks or whatever. I can walk. I don't have to do as many hard cuts or whatever. Like I can just take a break. I just be a spot up shooter if I wanted to. So unless they're going to have him sit in the corner and play no D, like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be kind of hard to come back and at least be just even being 50%. I think it's a push. So
it's a big push.
Yeah. So I don't think he's coming back, but it's just from my own personal experiences of how like my ankle roll, and my ankle rolls a lot. So I think I kind of used to it to some degree. But I know some people will as soon as they roll their ankle, they out. Like they done. Whereas
smart thing to do.
Yeah, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all believe like the Nets is in an elimination situation that they're gonna try to rush him back? Kind of like what happened to KD.
They should not.
It might happen.
If they do it, that's fine. So this is the thing. I'm not. Y'all know how I feel about protecting the injury. Like protect the players from themselves, being more cautious. Being more cautious than like I know Donovan Mitchell got upset about Game 1. I know there's some discrepancy between if he could be clear between doctors and his own personal doctors and all that stuff. I don't have a problem with them doing that because, you know, yeah, you can be upset. That's fine, but you're the $1 million man right now, so we're not going to jeopardize our investment because you want to play Game 1. We'll let you play Game 2, Game 3, whatever. But like Game 1, no, we're gonna be extra cautious. I think you should be extra cautious with these huge investments. You know, you don't want to pay them back.
The $1 million ain't just for this season.
Yeah, exactly. and you know, again, from the organizational side of things, you should. I don't know. I can't tell them what to value. If they want to value a championship like Toronto did and mortgage their soul to get Kawhi.
I think it's the pressure or the expectation that was put on them because of what was formed. Like they expected them to win right away. Like this is your seat. Like with you, all the 3 pieces that they got, that you're expected to win. So it almost feels like if they don't do it, then you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. But
I imagine a lot of these players get to where they are because they're fearless. So like it's a lot of things, pressure, internal pressure. Like you're the competitors at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I don't see anybody in the NBA not being a competitor.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I also understand like as you get older, you kind of get a little wiser. Like maybe there was a dumb of me to do these things back in the day. I was being reckless. I should be more mindful of pacing myself and body, watching what I eat and things like that. Just being more just in tune with, the next day, because, when you're 19, 20, you can shoot back up. Like, oh, I touched my ankle, I'm back the next day. Like, that's 19, 20. 31, you're like, my back. Sometimes
you go the cautious route and you still end up in that same position. That's what happened to the Lakers this season. I don't know. It's kind of risky putting AD back in with that groin injury because
that was dumb.
He was warming up. It looked like he couldn't even move laterally at all.
Dude, I saw him. I'm like, dude, why is he out there?
Yeah,
makes no sense.
And you saw how long he lasted. He lasted 3 minutes. Before the first TV timeout, he was out. He was like,
and they knew he couldn't play. The doctors cleared him.
He cannot play with no damn strained groin.
He can't injure it any worse. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't like that whole culture, man. Just look, if he just did not play, it would have been okay. Like, people would have understood you were injured. The same thing with LeBron, like the first year in Lakers. You're injured. It's okay. Like, we'll sit this out. We'll run it back next year. Just get healthy, because I'd rather you be healthy than have a long-term or nagging injury that just plagues you for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
So I will always be err on the side of caution. So I hope they don't bring back Harden or Kyrie unless they are like at least 80%. At least 80%.
I'm saying around 80, 90.
Yeah. So that's how I feel. But I mean, so we got these 2 people out, man. I mean, I guess we can flip on the silver lining side of things, man. Do y'all think this is a good chance for KD to promote his legacy? Does he have a higher upside now that he?
Oh, for sure. If he leads into a chip, all that was said about KD is definitely kind of out the window if he does it.
Even if he can get them to the next series.
Yeah, I would say next series for sure. Yeah, if he can pull off this series now that they're gone, if they're completely gone, for sure. Mm-hmm. Him beating the Bucks definitely would give him a little boost.
This is a reinforced Bucks. This is not the Bucks that lost last season. This is a different Bucks team.
Yeah.
They got J. Rue Holiday in there, bringing that extra Drew. My bad.
You said J. Rue Holiday.
Who's the second best player in the Nets now?
Joe Harris.
On the Nets? Yeah, I think so.
Either Joe Harris
so if he pulls off with Joe Harris being his second best player, then that's a good accomplishment.
Yeah.
Oh, now he knows how LeBron feels.
Yeah, exactly. He would be, but also the differences I will say is the type of teams. It do matter who you face in the finals.
Yeah. Because,
for example, let's say he goes to the finals and he faces like Utah or somebody like that. Utah. Donovan Mitchell is the only star that you call like a superstar per se, and. Versus like if like LeBron went there and was facing like the juggernaut Golden State for like 4 years, and he went there like by himself that first time, and it was just him versus Clay, killing, shooting, Steph and Draymond was way better. I wouldn't say he was great, but he was definitely a better player than he is now at that time. Then if KD was to go there, I could see LeBron beating one of these West teams back in his prime with the teams that he had. As opposed to Golden State. Like, let's say he had faced the Utah now back in 2015. LeBron being how he was then, I feel like he would have beaten the Utah with that team.
They probably would have got Gobert in foul trouble.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I feel like that would be a much easier matchup for him than Golden State. Golden State was just too much.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you could.
So I'm just saying it's unfair. That's why it's so unfair to like criticize people or judge people based on how they perform. Because to me, who you face has a lot to do with it.
Oh yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Because if KD went there and just beat the Jazz or the Phoenix, it's like nobody thought of them like that, like a good team. So if like LeBron had faced them. It's a difference. If what's his name, Durant was by himself and he beat a 72-3 team or something like that, like oh wow.
Yeah.
But
even how they lost,
that matters.
Even how they lost to that team with the Curry was shooting from full court.
Oh yeah.
Like that was crazy.
Yeah. So man, we'll see. I do think his ceiling is high now. Do I think he'll ever get to that level? I don't think so.
Hard with his play style.
Yeah,
like you need if he had a good facilitator,
yeah.
But just him carrying the team with whoever's there,
and he has to be efficient every game.
Yep. Yeah. And 9 for 25 ain't gonna cut it. 11 for 28 ain't gonna cut it. So
more efficient with less help. This is gonna be a tough thing.
He's basically back to OKC days now, just minus Westbrook.
No Westbrook. Yeah,
that's it.
Worse.
That's it. It's just minus Westbrook.
So you don't have to want to turn the ball over in the fourth quarter. Gotcha. All right.
Honestly, that stat is misleading. In that series, KD was played really bad in that game 7.
I mean,
he missed a lot of like shots that he normally makes. He was missing shots.
Hey man, I agree, man. That fourth quarter closeouts, man.
And
those are tough. Yeah, those are tough, man. So I understand. Moving on, man. Let's move on to the awards side of things, man. We had Tom Thibodeau, who's winning the Coach of the Year, man. I don't. This is his first time. I can't remember if it's his first time or if he's won it before. But
I want to be surprised if it's his second.
But
I feel like he must have won with D Rose, maybe.
I feel like he did, but I can't remember. But the thing is that it came out of nowhere. We didn't even know that he was even on the New York Knicks' team, and obviously the New York Knicks as a team was surprising this year. It's probably one of the biggest surprises this year, and made it to the playoffs. He had Julius Randle, Most Improved Player, and also NBA All-Star for the first time in his NBA career. So he did win the Coach of the Year, which is good for him. And
he won it before too in 2011.
Oh, okay. So this is the second one. Okay.
Mhm.
He won it in 2011.
When D Rose.
Yeah, when D Rose was the MVP.
That's what I thought. I was like, man, I couldn't
yeah.
remember.
Because they were number one in the East, I believe, at that time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Monty Williams though got the most first place votes. When they break down the first, second, and third place votes, he edged out Tom Thibodeau by like 3 votes or so. But obviously because of how the points tally up, he had a higher disparity. Tibbs had a higher disparity of second place votes than Monty Williams, which is why he won. So, question, man, did y'all think that the award went to the proper coach this year?
I could see it going either direction. Mm-hmm. I could see why we would say Monty and continuing to do well. Monty's just continuing to do well with this Phoenix Suns organization. I don't know if Chris Paul's impact takes away from that or whatever the case is, but that team's doing very well. That organization's doing very well. I was surprised to hear James Jones is the GM of the Phoenix Suns, architecting the whole thing, but that's going well. But Tom Thibodeau surprised us all. Took that team, and that team was kind of struggling. Took some pieces, some familiar faces, put it together, and they put up a great run. Nobody was looking for the Knicks. Nobody was checking for the Knicks. And they just kept going and keeping the steam rolling. So I could see why Tom was in everybody's, mind when it's like, even if everybody didn't put him number one, I see why there was like, yo, we're going to give him a nod, and it added up to being enough to be coach of the year.
Gotcha.
And that defensive culture he brought there too, because you could see the difference. Like you can't argue. We saw what they was last season. Mm-hmm. We saw there was some personnel changes, but it's not a complete, it's not a super team, right? Yeah. The personnel changes weren't like getting all these, this is an easy win type of situation, and they got it done. So a lot of people that we thought were old or injured or done having a resurgence.
Yeah, definitely. Space, you got something, man?
Hey, man. I mean, if you look at it, the Knicks, if your best player was Julius Randle, you deserve to win that thing. Yeah. You finished like fourth. I mean, nobody thought Drew Randle was even a top. You basically finished fourth in a conference without a bona fide superstar that anybody thinks about. So if Monty Williams has Chris Paul is a proven commodity in the league. Mm-hmm. He definitely has the resume that speaks for itself.
And then Devin Booker got
Devin Booker is a rising
from last
star.
Season.
Exactly. Everybody saw him. LeBron said it. He one of the most underrated players in the league. LeBron said that. Mm-hmm. And then you had the number one pick in DeAndre Ayton. Mm-hmm. The Knicks, who the Knicks has? RJ Barrett, that was like third or something.
Third, yeah.
And he hasn't really done anything to make you think like, oh my gosh, the Knicks are on the verge of competing.
Yes. Well, he was in the run for rookie of the year.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody thought. But nobody look at his game and think like, oh my god, he's going to take the Knicks to the promised land.
He's a generational player. Yeah,
so him, Tibbs coming in and doing what he did, Monty could have definitely gotten it. But I'm not mad that Tibbs did, based on what he was working with compared to Monty, his team.
Mm-hmm. And just to add to your case too, like Julius Randle is not even that people just don't think about him. It's just that they think about him and in a negative light.
Yeah,
how he played in Lakers and things like that.
Yeah, you think of him as a role player. Like he'd be like a good role player, like not your number one option, but like they think of him as like, bully ball in the post. Mm-hmm. His game completely changed. I don't know if Tibbs had something to do with that, but he's out there hitting threes, like these jumpers and everything is just wet. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's what Giannis wished to be. Yeah. Almost. Like, if somebody was to really... Giannis is obviously a better player because he's won MVP.
More athletic, too.
But if he had Julius Randle's game, he'd be a beast.
Oh, yeah.
Put it that way.
With this athleticism.
Exactly. Yeah. Because Drew Randle could shoot. I'm not saying he's the best three-point shooter ever, but he's definitely, you have to cover him because he hit those shots.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he definitely... Defense-wise, the team was much better defensively. Getting in D Rose coming off the bench. Obviously, he's his old coach, D Rose old coach Tibbs. So Tibbs knew how to work him in, knew his capabilities, his limitations, and he proved. Huh?
I was gonna say, let me ask you, as a former New Yorker though.
Yeah.
Are the Knicks as a franchise, are they back?
No, they're not back.
So you think this is just like a one-time thing that is
because the Knicks has proved we've seen these from the Knicks before. The Knicks with Melo, when Melo came to the Garden, everybody was in uproar. Oh my gosh, the Knicks is back. The Garden is packed, even though the Garden is always packed, good or bad, with the Knicks.
You know he's trolling you, right?
No, I'm not trolling him.
Yo,
I'm not trolling.
Yo, even if I don't care if he's trolling. The Knicks don't deserve to even be spoken about. So
wow,
so,
okay.
Knicks,
that's what he wanted. He wanted you to say something.
No, I wanted to know if he's like, do you think they're gonna build on it, or do you think like this is their peak? Like they might get this far one or two more times, and then it's gonna fizzle out again.
They need. I don't care what to win or to even come close to winning. Every team needs a superstar. I don't care who it is. It's a superstar-driven league. The only team in history that probably didn't have like a legit superstar was that Pistons team that won. Nobody at the time thought of Chauncey Billups as a superstar, or Rick Hamilton or Tayshaun Prince. So that was the only anomaly. But I mean, in terms of the league itself, it's generally always superstars. So the Knicks, I don't see them going anywhere next year unless a superstar decides to leave and go to the Knicks.
Do you think this opens the success they have opens the door to players to look at this market?
I will say yes now, because of the core pieces. It's kind of like the Clippers. The Clippers were kind of like when Doc Rivers brought when they played Golden State, the Clippers, and they lost with Montrez and Beverly and Lou Will. Before Kawhi went there, they chose there because they had good pieces that a superstar could go and play with, and they could contribute. I think the Knicks pieces now, a superstar could go there and be like, I could play with this team.
Okay.
So I feel like they can. I don't know if they will, because the owner, I'm not sure how people feel about the owner. A lot of people don't like James Dolan, which I personally don't like him either, because the way he treats former players, you're hearing at Madison Square Garden, Spike Lee. Yeah. Like, you really want to go there? Like, how is he going to treat me? If he's treating these guys, that's like royalty that way. Why would I go there?
If he could just not be like, I didn't hear people talk about it. If he could just disappear, like just cool out and lay back, I think they have a chance. Because even with how people feel about him, James Dolan, people still speak highly of the Garden. Zion talking about, oh man, what it's like to play in the Garden. Even Trae Young like getting booed, but it's just like that Garden means something to a lot of people.
It does mean something to players, but I mean, it doesn't mean that they have to go to the playing it. They could play it twice a year and they feel okay with it. But I mean, the Knicks are kind of like the Cowboys. Especially James Dolan might not be Jerry Jones, but they're really close, because in terms of he gets in his own team's way. Jerry Jones does. James Dolan sometimes is doing that. I feel like he might be the reason why players don't want to go there either. So while Jerry Jones feel like he's doing the best thing for the Cowboys, he's really doing him a disservice. Because he wants to do everything himself, GM, owner, everything. He knows nothing. He'll pick players just to pick because, oh, I like him, or, oh, we just want fireworks offense, no defense. And it's just on impulse. So I don't know. The Knicks, to me, not going anywhere next year unless they get a superstar, or even the next 5 years unless a superstar goes there.
Hey, Detroit Pistons proved you do not need a superstar.
We gonna get to this last one?
Yeah, man. These head coach candidates, man. Portland, they are in the search because Terry Stotts is out after Portland got kicked out of the playoffs. Dame even thinking about moving, so they gotta move fast, man. Get this guy to stay, because obviously without Portland,
Dame to Lakers.
Portland ain't even a city you want to go visit. So,
hey man, they got good beers.
If Deuce is doing a lineup, he's gonna talk about get Dame to the Warriors.
I know. What a
that's like the worst thing ever. What is he gonna play? What position is he gonna play?
Just put him on the bench.
Go share the ball.
Who he said LaMelo? You said LaMelo should have came to the Warriors. I'm like, who? What?
LaMelo Ball?
Yeah,
he tripping.
Yeah. Hey yo, worst GM in history. That's why he tripping. That's why he out there fighting crime right now.
He sound like me putting together all-star team.
Yeah, all point guards.
No. Yeah, wow.
So, So yeah, man, they on the search, man. They got some names. There was some front runners, man. We had Becky Hammond. We had I probably say Mark Jackson, Chauncey Billups, Dan Toney, Jason Kidd, and obviously some of our personal favorites, like I said, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy. Who do y'all think would be a good head coach candidate for Dame's Blazers?
How you want to go with it?
I mean, we can just either you can pick your favorite, or we can.
No, I'm saying who you going to first.
Oh, we going to first? Man, let's go with Chase, man. Let's go with Chase.
I mean, I'd like to see the Becky Hammond get it, just because it would show like the league's progression towards inclusion, diversity. I mean, I'm not sure if she's deserving of it just because she's a woman. I don't want to say just to give it to her because of that reason. But in terms of who I believe would be a good candidate, I definitely can't ignore Jeff Van Gundy or Mark Jackson. Even over Mike D'Antoni. Everyone else doesn't really have the coaching experience, aside from Jason Kidd, who backed out, and D'Antoni. But Mike D'Antoni doesn't coach defense or preach defense. So, and the Blazers are really bad at defense right now. So I would definitely go with Jeff Van Gundy or Mark Jackson, which are the two commentator buddies. So either one of them would be fine. I'd probably lean more towards Mark Jackson, because I feel like he's been, ever since he coached the Warriors, he's been unfairly ridiculed or blackballed from the league for some reason. So I don't know what it is. I heard it's because of his beliefs. He's really heavy into his faith, Christianity. Yeah. So I guess he's really hard on players when they curse and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if that's why people don't want him there, because he could be too harsh or hard on the players. So I believe one of those would be a good fit, but I wouldn't mind seeing Becky go there, but I'm not sure if she'd be the person to take them where they want to go. She can, I don't want to be unfair, because look at Steve Nash. Steve Nash got that job in Brooklyn, no coaching experience, and they're in the second round, definitely have a chance to go to the finals, but regardless of those injuries that just occurred. But can Becky Hammond do that? I'm pretty sure she probably has the ability to do it. I'm not sure if she will, but they definitely, whoever the candidate is, they better do something next year or Dame is gone.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So I don't know who is gonna do it, because Mark Jackson hasn't won anything as a coach. Jeff Van Gundy hasn't won anything as a coach, but Jeff Van Gundy is probably the one on the list who has the better credentials, because he was there with those Knicks teams that was always battling. So he's a tough coach, and he's definitely battle tested. Yeah. So I would choose him if I really, really, really had to.
Okay, awesome, cool. Yo, man, what you got, man? Who's your favorite, man? What do you think of this list so far?
I think I echo a lot of the sentiments that Chase had on this one. I would say with Chauncey Billups, I think Damien's definitely gonna have a lot of influence on whoever gets picked. So he might lean towards Chauncey Billups, a former guard, somebody who's been coaching, has some experience. I don't know how many years he's been doing it. That might play into it. D'Antoni, I think he's a legend, or famous or infamous, whatever you want to say. I heard what you said about the defense not being a key there, but maybe they lean into what they have now. If we don't have a defensive personnel, let's just lean into that offense. Maybe they could go there with that. I don't like it, but that could be the reason. That could be somebody's logic. You just be well, if this is our skill set, let's take somebody who's gonna just. But it still
hasn't been proven a team winning without defense.
I agree.
Teams when it counts.
Maybe they're just gonna keep trying it. Who knows? I don't think it. I don't like it either. But that could be somebody's reasoning. It's just let's lean into our skill set. If our offense is what we're doing, let's get somebody who's offensive minded and is just gonna hone in our offense. For Jason Kidd, I would have liked to have seen it. Somebody who's willing to do anything to win, whether he has to spill some on the court.
Oh man,
to get that timeout. So I like the effort there, but he backed out. With the Becky Hammond, I agree. You know, I like the idea of inclusion. Uh, it's a great organization with the Spurs. It's a little hard to tell like what an assistant coach has as an impact because they're not the only assistant coach. But that's a great system to come out of. And if she gets the stamp of approval from the coach over there, like I can see that's a very good candidate. But because again, like the influence that I'm pretty sure Lillard's gonna have on this pick, I don't know if he's gonna be willing to try somebody. Even though she has some experience, I think he might go for somebody that's more experienced. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I wonder where his head's at, and maybe his head's somewhere else, and they interview, and he gets to talk to her, and maybe he gets impressed too. So, but I would definitely like to see that for the system she came from, and just the inclusivity. You just opened your pool of candidates, so now you really know you got the best. Like,
yeah.
You don't just keep going with what you know. And I like Jeff Van Gundy's commentating.
I like it too. I'd rather see him there.
I think he could get fired up. I think he can really go to bat for his players.
Yeah.
I think he has a lot of knowledge of the game. I think he's very disgruntled with the game. But
he is disgruntled with the game. He gets really upset on the sidelines too as a coach.
Yeah. So I think it would be exciting to see. I think it would be fun. We would miss him as a commentator, obviously. And, Mark Jackson, I'd like to see him have another shot. Like, we saw what he did with that team. I don't know if you want to give credit to the GM, to the situation, but you can't take his fingerprints off the culture and what they built over there.
Can't you whitewash him?
I don't know. The main players there, or, I didn't hear them say anything negative about him.
Yeah.
I think all the core players of that team that he had really liked him. So,
got you.
I mean, that speaks to something.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Everything y'all said, man, has been spot on. I'm not going to add too much to it, but I will point out that it looks like everybody on this list, with the exception of D'Antoni and Jeff Van Gundy, because they're all more traditional coaches. They weren't players in the NBA at any point. They're all point guards, which means that they're really leading heavily to try to make sure that they have the point guard whisperer, or like the person who can kind of relate to Dame the most. And McCollum, I guess you need to have both of them, but obviously Dame is
he need to go.
Huh? I think McCollum definitely needs. Like, I remember a couple years ago, I was really excited with McCollum. His production hasn't been there.
Yeah, he needs to go. I don't feel like he is a number 2 player to win a championship.
I feel like he was.
No. I don't. Well, anymore, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like he's not. Something about his game, it's cool and all, it just doesn't translate to winning when the time comes. So I don't know, the way he plays is just so weird.
I think I've seen growth in Lillard, and I haven't seen growth in McCollum.
Yes,
issue.
He's not even a number 2. Like, it just feels like he'll be better off just being like a role player, hitting open threes.
But before he came off the bench. He started on the bench, so he was backing up get Dame. I think who did they lose? I forget who they lost on the shooting guard. So he got he was a free agent, so he left, and so McCollum took that spot. So yeah, I mean traditionally, yeah, you're right. He came from the bench. But yeah, he's
but I
gotten
feel like
better.
He played up.
Just,
I felt like he played up to it though when he got off the bench.
Yeah. It's like he'd be a good piece. For example, I'm not being biased. We all think. I'm gonna say for example, like AD and Brown. He would be an okay player, like either come off the bench 6 men or in the starting role, but he's not like the main dude.
Yeah.
And he'll do damage.
Yeah.
Because he has a more focused role on the Blazers. I feel like he needs a role where he's not a focal point. He'll be under the radar, like just deadly.
Yeah.
I feel like that now. I felt like before, like when he was getting the touches and some of the heavy lifting, he was doing very well with the ball. But now I do agree with that. I feel like, swap him, like, how Kuzma's kind of suffering from being that third, fourth option.
Swap him over for Kuzma.
I think McCollum would step up to be a third or fourth
better
option.
Than Kuzma. He would, as a third option. He would.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I don't know, man. I think Chauncey Billups is probably probably
he's gonna get it?
I think that's the guy.
I
You think he's gonna get it?
I don't know if he's gonna get it, but I think that would be my pick. The only reason why I wouldn't want to go with Mark Jackson is because I think Mark Jackson is also a really good pick. I don't know why they don't want Mark Jackson, and it's so I think that kind of bugs me. But I mean, I would give him.
I think it had something to do with his
religious views.
Because I've heard them talk about like just how his interaction with the players. You know, players curse. They out there cursing. I feel like he's someone almost like a dad.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah. So it could be that, man. I don't know. He
said certain things.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, but I would go with Chauncey, Mark Jackson. If I know what Becky Hammond can do, because I really do like Becky Hammond. Like, yeah, it's hard to decouple her from Popovich because she's almost always under Popovich. But she does do coaching. She does the coaching for the G League. Not the G League, the Summer League. I think she does the Summer League coaching for the Spurs.
For the Spurs, she does.
Yeah.
She does.
So
okay.
she does that Summer League tourney. And I mean, again, I don't know if that's translatable to like the NBA, but she's getting her chops up. It's just I don't. The only reason why I'm really hesitant with Becky is because you have a guy who is ready to leave or who's actually thinking about looking at the other side of that fence and see what that grass look like. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you want to be risky with someone like Becky. Unless Becky can come into the interview, I would definitely give her an interview. I would definitely
with Dame.
Yeah, with
Dame. Because I think she has to convince Dame.
Exactly. And then she has to from there convince Dame that she has.
She a point guard herself too.
Yeah, all of them are guards. That's what I'm saying. So just if she was able to convince Dame the vision that she has for them, if she was to coach them or whatever, and the philosophies and stuff like that, then I think she would have a good shot. And obviously, I would support her. Dame supports it, but you gotta support Dame. You gotta get Dame to be the guy to sign off.
Well, I don't believe the coaching, personally, for them, is the key. It's players coming there. I don't feel that no matter what coach goes there, I don't feel that they're going to win.
Hey man, get James Jones.
But we kind of talked about that pre-game too. Like, it's something about coaching bringing things out of players. Like, even wasn't Monty the one who at one point was in New York?
Yeah.
Monty Ellis?
No, I'm talking about
the coach.
Monty
Williams was in New Orleans. So. I think his wife
OKC. No, he wasn't OKC.
Who was the coach?
OKC.
Who was the coach that came to the Knicks, but it was just super dysfunctional over there?
Derek Fisher.
Oh yeah, Derek Fisher too.
No, it wasn't. It was somebody else.
It was Dan.
Phil Jackson.
No, it was the Knicks.
Charles Woodson. Not Charles Woodson.
I gotta think about it. It was somebody that everybody liked as a coach, but it just wasn't working out because like the players weren't really putting in the effort.
It was Woodson. He was
the coach for Carmelo.
It was also Woodson.
Mike D'Antoni.
I feel like
Woodson got a lot of flack.
I don't remember, but it's like they brought him over there. Everybody was excited about it, and
then I know you're talking about
Mike Woodson,
Isaiah Thomas.
No, I don't know.
In conclusion, the Knicks had a lot of great coaches.
I know
that they squandered away.
Yo, look. Back to Portland. What more? So hold on. Who are they gonna bring on up? Because Dame Lillard got everything. They get everything on the Dame every time. It's the surrounding pieces that's letting him down a lot of time. They're not balling up to expectation. So I believe
David Fizdale.
Fizdale.
Oh, yeah. Fizdale. You know what I'm saying? You saw how many coaches we threw out. Isaiah Thomas, Mike Woodson.
I just believe that they need personnel. Dame already, you're getting everything from Dame already. Because usually you need to bring out stuff. It's only your superstars. Generally, when a coach, when it comes down to it, is the superstar that's going to bring you over the finishing line. So
I disagree though. I feel like the coaches got to get something out of the rest of the team.
They can,
I think that's when it makes a difference. That's why I think a lot of people are like, respect Spoelstra now. Like he takes these young, talents and develops them into something. He's done that with a couple players. You see, what's his name? Hero's kind of struggling now. You see Duncan Robinson.
Well, the way I view it is, you go as far as your superstars going to go. So if your superstar is not feeling the coach, or the coach doesn't not reacting to what the coach is saying, you ain't going to go.
But I mean, even then, I feel like the superstars kind of motivate themselves and they just gonna do what they do.
They got to, but I just feel like Portland the whole needs a whole new, whole different supporting cast. Like Nurkic probably got to go. You either get a better star in his position, like a Giannis or somebody like that.
Yeah,
and that's about it for him. Or if not, Dame is gonna bounce, and he's gonna go to like only probably 3 or 4 teams I can see him possibly going to.
What do you think? What do you think those teams are?
The Heat, the Lakers, for sure. We'll take him. Who else? Contending.
Spurs.
Philly.
Get rid of Ben Simmons for Lillard?
No, he has to slide. Ben Simmons just can slide over and play
shooting guard.
Or something. Yeah, he could.
They have the money for that.
I don't know, but I'm just saying I can see him going there if Philly doesn't go through. And I could see him if the Knicks does get a superstar, I could see him going there.
And so replacing D Rose?
Yeah, because D Rose not at this point in his career is not Dame. So
you think Tom would do it?
I plus remember D Rose was coming off the bench all season. He just started in the playoffs like last couple of games.
Who was the guard? Who was the guard there?
Bullock, Reggie Bullock. See it? Now you know why Tim's got Coach of the Year. Now you see why he got Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Anything else y'all want to say before we wrap this up?
Nah, I think it's a great episode, man. Thanks everybody for watching. You know, we appreciate y'all. Go and hit them likes, them follows, them subscribes, listen to us, watch us, engage with us. You know, them drops is gonna come soon. I know your boy's been slipping on the Reddit, but you know it's gonna happen. Change is gonna come.
Oh man, you keep with all these promises, man.
Word. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for the folks for listening. You know, like you said, like, comment, subscribe. We enjoyed it. It was a good episode, and we'll give you more content.
Cool. And this is your boy Chris Zilla. All that stuff I would echo. On top of that, yeah, tell a friend, share it. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, man. Engage with us, and we'll definitely return the favor in kind with more high quality content and try to make it better for you guys. So yeah, man, with that said, we'll let everyone go, man. Y'all have a good rest of your evening, man. Until next time, man. Peace.